Hello and welcome to a new Banished series entitled Curse of the Medieval Fountain. So called because it's going to be a mod heavy version of Banished, predominantly using the Black Liquid Curse of the Golden Llama mod, the Redketchup's new Medieval Towns, and the latest fountain mod, Highborn Society. So the mods that I'm using, I'm going to list under the videos. They need to be installed in the order in which I've listed them, otherwise you may get some conflicts. So if we look at the mods, some may still be red, but they should still work if you install them as I have done. Obviously you don't have to install the mods I have, but it will give you a specific set of icons in the bottom right hand corner, and if you want them to be the same as mine, then these are the mods you will need. Okay, so let's start a new game. Ash Forks. Okay, why not? Let's leave it with that. Let's put a specific map seed in. 122038169. I'll list that in the video description as well. And we're going to want our verdant plains, large map size, climate. Let's go with tropical. Disasters on, starting conditions. Let's go with Golden Llama, medium. Okay. Alright, okay, let's pause the game first of all. And then we can bring up some of our overlays. Let's just get these into position. We'll have the map in the top right hand corner. Event log down the bottom. Hopefully all these should fit quite nicely to give us the maximum viewing screen. Okay. Right, so now we've got all our screens up. In relation to this particular map, we've got a large section on the left, flat land with a lake at the top, and then on the right hand side it's sort of split into two, so we've got one top section with a couple of lakes, and then that's divided by this stream here, and then it gives us quite a lot of flat land in the bottom right hand section, so loads of buildable area. Okay, so we're going to need to get cracking with a base camp, basically to provide us with all the resources we're going to need to crack on with a quite substantial build. Okay, first of all I want to remove this little sign here because it just gets in the way, so we'll get rid of that, crack a couple of builders in, and we're going to need some resources. So I'm going to start at the top here just because I want to clear some area around this little hill here so we can flatten that. Get some stone in. Let's get some iron being collected. There's a nice load of it down here. So let's just speed that on and get rid of this sign. Prioritise the removal of that. And then just pause again for a second. Because we want to slap some food production where that sign was. Now we're going to use Redketchup's new medieval town, and he has a medieval pond. So let's put that in here. Let's line it up with the storage barn. Now with some of the mods I'm using, they're going to give me more stone, iron, wood, and more fish and more leather. Now I don't usually not use these mods in my own games, but in relation to being able to build on this massive map in a speedy manner, I'm going to be utilising those mods just to help along, so we don't have any sort of death spirals or anything like that. So let's just start with the base camp first of all. So we've got a fishing dock in. grassy roads around here. Now this is one of the mods as well. It adds a few extra textures to the roads. So we've got 3 different types of grass. We've got gravel and sand. The labourers will move along these roads at the same speed as they would as a dirt road, but they obviously look a lot nicer. So let's get some houses for them as well. We'll start with just some standard wood houses for the base camp. So I'll bang a few of these in. I'll just keep spinning it. Okay. So we've got some houses. Now we're going to need a tailor and a blacksmith. So let's put these in. I'm going to use the standard ones for these because they're upgradable, or the gold Llama versions. There are different versions in Redketchup's medieval towns as well, but we're not using those at the moment. Going to need a woodcutter because he's quite important, but he's not fitting. So let's, where is that little black mark there? So let's flatten that. And hopefully that should just allow us to fit the woodcutter in. No, you're not. Okay, let's just do a little bit more. Let's try that. Are you going to go in? Yes, you are. Lovely. Okay. What else do we need? What else do we need? We need a church and a school. So we'll put a school in. Fit that down here, and we'll put a little parish house, I think, just over here. Just leave a bit of room. And for roads and such, in fact, we'll just put that in now. Okay, I want another stockpile for the woodcutter. So let's bang in something behind these houses here. Now with some of the mods, I've added a slightly ridiculous storage, which basically doubles the amount that the stockpiles and the storage barns can hold. So just makes it a bit easier, so you don't have to have massive stockpiles knocking around. And although we're going to get a lot of fish out of this pond, we want to offer some variation, so we'll have a hunter and gatherer and herbalist over here, so we need a road for that. We also need a bridge. On this particular layout, the first bridge isn't the wooden bridge, so just be aware of that. And that's a stone and wood bridge. The wood bridge is the second one along. So pop that in. Join it up, and then let's just speed this on and see how they get on. Now I'm going to assume in this game that you know the rough basics of Banished and how things work, etc. There are other tutorials out there to show you the basics, but I'm going to assume you know those. It's going to make it easier, especially with all these extra mods that we've added on. You can see the fountain mods are coloured in blue along the bottom. Custom markets, resource exchange. We'll go through all these. We'll try and use as many of the different mods as possible throughout the build. And we want to keep on top of resource gathering as well, so let's try and remove all this from over here. Let's get rid of this as well. let's add someone into the fishing dock, or fishing pond, medieval pond. Okay. So I'm going to keep an eye on this just to show you what the intensified fishing dock mod will do. Currently we've got 1500 food, so we're okay for the time being there. Lots of wood, lots of stone, lots of iron, so we're okay so far. Now, one of the more important things when you're first getting going is watching your health, and that will start to slowly drop until you get a herbalist in place. So once we've got the basics built, then we'll move on down here and get a herbalist and a gatherer and a forester and hunter, etc. The hunter's quite important as well, because we're going to need the leather for the tailor. Look at them busying around. Okay, so we get more about firewood, so once that's built, we'll put someone in there straight away. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we've got a woodcutter now, so food and wood, shelter, all basics done pretty quickly. I'm not worried about these too much at the moment, because we're not going to be using the blacksmith straight away, because we've still got a few tools. Tailor, we're okay for the time being. Okay, so I'm just going to extend the road down from the bridge down here and spin the map a bit. Okay, so first of all we'll start with a forester. My preference is always the forester lodge new trees, just adds a bit of variation to the trees that they grow. Okay, now I'm going to take just one off from here in case I want to put a road spur going off to the sides there, so let's say about there, pull that down. Now as regards the hunter, in Redketchup's medieval towns, we're going to use his hunter because he split it into two. So whereas with a normal hunter building it's got a left and a right section, as it were, I'll try and show you. Yeah, so this particular building, it's got a building on the left and it's joined in the centre with a building on the right. Well, what Redketchup's done is he's basically cut it in half. So his hunter is just that right hand section, and he gives you a house option for it as well, which is the left hand side. So it basically just cuts the area down that you need to use to place your houses. So always a benefit. So let's pop this next to the forester, and then we'll put the house in there as well. Great, and then we'll add a barn. I do favour the small barn for these sort of small communities, just because you don't need a huge amount. Redketchup just offer different barns as well, normal size down to tiny, but we don't need a tiny one, we just need a small one for the time being. And the reason I like the small barns is because it has the same footprint as the town abode. So we can throw a few of these in here. Let's put 3 along here. And then we'll throw in a gatherer's hut just next to those. And then that should give us pretty much perfect rectangle. Okay, good. Right, now we need to get our herbalist in. I just want to extend the road to the end. It's always quite tricky doing this blind when there's loads of trees in your way. But we'll give it a go anyway, see how it comes out. Now the herbalist has been moved, that's in the health section now, so let's try and line this up with the back end of the Hunter's Lodge. Aha. Okay, so that road's a bit too long, so I just need to take a little bit off the top there. Let's prioritise getting rid of that. Has it gone? Yeah, it's gone. Okay. Herbalist. And then we'll give him another little house, little town abode next door. Let's leave a space. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a nice little rectangle there going on. Keep everything tight in. There's more room for trees to grow. Okay, right, so everything's built down here. In terms of resource limits, let's put fuel up to 2,000. Let's get that going because we're going to be using the firewood for selling at the trading post. Logs, 20,000. Stone, same with iron. Materials again. Let's just put loads in there. Now tools I want to watch out for because obviously that needs to be regulated so I can keep an eye on my iron and wood. Food, loads. Herbs, loads. Clothes, again, loads. And the same with luxuries. Okay. Right, so that should keep us going there. Let's put a school teacher in. Just because if we can get all the minions educated, they will pick up even more resources as they go along. So easy to just get that straight in at the start. Okay, so we've now got 6 labourers, 2 builders. Everything's coming along quite well. Let's prioritise these houses. Let's get these done. Now we're not really going to need a gathering immediately, because obviously if you look at the food situation, we're doing really well so far. Again, forester, I'm going to be cutting a lot of trees down around this hill here. In fact, let's get them working on that. So, yeah, foresters and gatherers not as important in the early stages of this particular game. Hunters though, we will need shortly for the leather. Herbalists we need pretty much straight away because we can already see the hearts starting to go down. So come on, crack on. Let's get our herbalist built. Pretty much everything down here is done now apart from the herbalist, which is probably the most important one. We probably should have prioritised that, but not to worry, we're still okay for the time being. Now let's put a stockpile in for when the forester starts up, and just leaving a little gap at the end there just for a road in case I need to intersect. Come on, herbalist. Oh, he's on his way. So yeah, as you can see, the hunter has been separated, so we've got, it's just the right hand side now of the model, which is pretty cool really for the hunter, and then a house on the side. No one actually living in it at the moment, just one person. Okay, so let's get a herbalist in, and that'll keep people fairly happy for the time being. That gives us 7 people to play with, so let's carry on getting all this stuff shifted. I don't want to go too far over, I don't want to mess with the flow of the main river. Let's take that up to as far as we can with the llama. Let's have a look how far down are we here. Okay. And then let's prioritize. Okay, so all good so far. Let's maybe give you a couple of hunters, get the leather rolling in. Did you see that? That wood pile just disappeared, so that's why I like to clear away the resources before I flatten the terrain. Just because you can, if you just flatten it, you can lose some of the resources basically. You might be able to see. Here we've got some wood here. Yeah, I'm just interested to show you if it'll disappear. But saying that, it might take a while because we've still got a lot of trees around the outside. Take this out a bit further. Just going to flatten the area around the golden llama. We've still got a bit of a hill at the back here, so I still need to take it a bit further back just to get it truly flat. How are we doing? So we've got tools are okay for the time being. Coats getting down there. Ten up, yep. Okay. So I'm going to want to run buildings. Let's take it down here. Now we'll put in another fishing dock. We probably won't use it straight away, but it will definitely help later on if the numbers start to drop. So we'll wang that in there. I'm just going to get these labourers moving this first of all. Okay, so here we go. There, you see, and they all disappeared. So just be wary of that. Okay, and let's get you removing a little bit more along the let's remove this piece here. And we're going to put a trading dock down here. Where are we looking? Here we go. Now I have got some specialised trading docks as one of the mods, which basically allows you to specify the type of trading dock. So whereas a normal one you get a rotation of different merchants coming offering you different things, these you can put a trading dock down and they will deliver specialised goods. So food, consumables, raw materials, seeds and livestock, and that's a good one, that one, especially at the start of the game. You can sort of get all the different seeds that you need for later on. But for now, we're just going to use the normal trading post. Another downside to the specialised trades is you can't minimise, so you can't pin them to the top and hang fire if you haven't got enough funds, etc. So that's why this one does have a slight advantage. Okay, let's throw that in. How are we doing over here? Okay, so we've still got a bit of a hill. I'm just going to sacrifice the remaining trees. We've got quite a few of them already. Let's just throw that in. So they'll get cracking and I'll remove that as and when. So nice and flat. Okay, so let's get these built. Let's put a builder in there. Let's prioritise the fishing dock. Now there's some great new little houses in the fountain mod. This small wood house. Great for on the coast. So there are a few different models as well. In fact, I think there's three. Just spin it around the back, you can see. Yeah, so one's got an open layout on the back, one's closed, and then one just has a few other little details. I quite like the open back one. Again, something to note: the stairs overlap the where you add it to the road. So that's just something you want to watch out for. Aesthetically, I suppose the minions will still go underneath the stairs, but it just doesn't look very good. So let's just try and position this behind the fishing dock. Just add a bit of road there. Okay. Now I'm going to keep that closed for the time being. I'll show you why. If we look at the medieval pond, one person in here and he's producing 4,000 fair food, so that's the ridiculous amount for one person to be producing. And again, a bit of a cheat really, but just in terms of speed and being able to get things built, so you're just not sitting there waiting and watching me crash and burn. Again, you can choose to use the intensified fishing dock or not. That's the mod that's helping me get loads of fish. So this is not really necessary at the moment. I mean, I can still put more people in this and put some over here as well. But you can see the circumference of the fishing dock is much more increased. Okay, how are we getting on with this? That's on its way. I suppose there's any point in prioritising because it's the only thing being built, but we'll do it anyway. So I just want to get this built and I want to get these cleared. And flattened. That's been done, hasn't it? Yeah. So that can go. Okay. Right, okay, so we're out of tools and clothes, so let's pop a tailor in and a blacksmith. That should sort that issue out pretty quickly. I'm going to put a guy in the parish house as well, 31 members, so it's worth doing. It keeps them happy. We're on 5 stars at the moment, but let's do it anyway. Okay. Okay, and this is done, so great. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so we flattened our mountain. We've got our base camp. We've got food production. It's not going to be an issue. Stone and iron, loads around here. In fact, let's tell him to get all that. Stock up. Keep them busy. Some mine up here. So that'll be rolling in. Firewood, absolutely fine. Logs, fine again. In fact, we actually reached our limit already, so let's just put that up to 5,000 and let him crack on. How are we going with here? We're nearly done on the trading post. Just going to put another builder in there. Make him do it a little bit faster. Get it done, get it built. So we're just finalising our 4th year. We've got all the basics in. Little node at the bottom here with all the essentials to keep us going. Food production is going to be fine. Housing will be fine. We can't really see any of the stats as yet because we haven't had the town hall built, but we'll get to that probably in the next episode. So I'll see you then.